Dzień dobry, jak się masz? My name is Lauren Parrott. I am from Michigan in the United States of America, and I'm going to be reading an essay to you in English that your teacher asked me to read. So here we go. Family struggling as bills begin to bite. For the 2 weeks in every month that her husband Jim is working offshore on oil rigs, Sharon Wall is at home with her 4 young children. As Sharon does not drive, there are no good quality food shops within walking distance. Feeding her children is a little more complicated than for most families. The first thing that Jim Wall does on his way home from oil rigs is to stop at a large Tesco supermarket on the outskirts of Aberdeen to buy a bit of everything. Although the family has a weekly box of vegetables delivered from a local farmer's market, they eagerly look forward to his return. I always fill up the fridge and freezers before I go. Then when I come back, I have to do it all over again, he says. I know the cupboards will be almost empty by then. The couple say their weekly food bill is usually around 150 euros. However, in the last 4 days, they've spent 220 euros. A few years ago, they spent about 100 euros a week on food. Bread and milk are classic examples, says her husband. I think it was about 75 pounds for a loaf of Asda bread just a couple months back. Now it's almost 1 euro. I usually get a little bit of shopping when he's away, and what used to cost me 20 euros to 25 euros is now 35 to 40 euros for pretty much the same amount of stuff, says Sharon Wall. I was in Asda the other day and I thought, oh, I've hardly got anything here and it's 20 euros. In recent months, many families in Britain have been experiencing the same problems as the Walls. For many, food price increases, a pound here, 10 euros there, are starting to hurt. Bread costs 20% more than it did a year ago, and rice 60% more. Pasta has gone up by 81% in some shops, and in Tesco, it was found to be 113% more expensive. Butter costs 60% more than it did, and meat prices are up too. These increases represent the sharpest rise in food prices since records began. The odd thing is that a lot of people have only just noticed, says Alex Beckett, a food journalist. In fact, food prices have been going up for quite some time, but they have dramatically soared in the last 18 months. In his small local Asda, Jim Wall pauses in front of a shelf of bread, running through his head the small familiar calculations. 5 pounds, 12 pounds, 24 pounds, that can make the difference between ending the month overdrawn and not. Warburton's farmhouse loaves, the family's favorite, are 1.12 euros each. He puts 2 loaves of Asda's Baker's Gold, 95 pounds each, in his trolley. When your family eats a loaf of bread a day, that 17 pounds does make a difference. Jim also has to decide which eggs to buy. I really don't like the way battery chickens are kept, but 6 eggs from battery chickens are just 88 pounds, and here you have 12 free range for 2.92 euros. In the end, he buys a dozen barn eggs for 2.52 euros. Sharon Wall says that they are also concerned about food miles, pesticides, and fair trade, but these days, green shopping is an expensive luxury. We try to buy organic food. I try to get the fair trade coffee. Price is a factor though. Some weeks I try to get the fair trade coffee, whereas other weeks I think I just can't afford it this week. Stores look rather different than they used to. Own brand ranges are now found front and center in displays. We are seeing more promotions than ever, says Andrew Opie from British Retail Consortium, which represents leading British supermarket chains. These tend to be straightforward reductions in price rather than BOGOFs, buy one get one free offers. The Wall family welcomes offers, and of course, but as Jim says, The things that aren't good for you, the cookies and the cakes and the crisps, are the things that are on offer. Last year, the Scottish Parliament opened a national food debate to look at the problem of providing good, healthy food to the people in Scotland. This is a topic that needs to be discussed not only in Scotland, says experts. While Britain consumes so much more than it produces and throws away 10 euros of food a year, including every day 550,000 chickens and 5.1 million potatoes, experts say that talking about supermarket prices is topsy-turvy at best. Now, my eye is watering. In America, our currency is dollars. And I'm not exactly sure if I was saying your currency correctly, but I hope that this was helpful. Good luck to you all, and I wish you the best. Bye.